Contractors of Colorado. It's Andrew Lavrins here for another Contractors of Colorado podcast. Quick shout out to our sponsors at the Business Foundry. It's our recording studio here. They are our marketing sponsors, so anything you would need for marketing or event space, they have a beautiful facility here in Lone Tree. And are great supporters of everything we're doing. And also a shout out to the Builders Outlet out in Denver. They are a material supply shop for doors, windows, trim. They have some appliances. They take very good care of our community. So again, thank you to our sponsors. Today, we have a very special guest. It's going to be Jakob Bernhardt with Yoder Fleet Commercial, here to help us with all of our fleet truck needs. So Jake, welcome to the podcast, sir.
Andrew, thank you for having me, man.
Of course.
Happy to be here.
Of course. So the first thing I want to do is kind of give you an opportunity to say what it is that you do at, Yoder Fleet Commercial and your role as a sales consultant on the fleet and commercial side.
As a fleet and commercial sales consultant, my job is to make sure that I get the right truck because that is a tool to that contractor. And with that being said, it takes a lot of specialties to kind of configure a truck that's going to give the contractor the right tools for their job. And us as sales consultants at Yoder Fleet Commercial, which is at Weld County Garage in Greeley, Colorado, and also Yoder Chevrolet in Fort Lupton. So we're a dual licensed GM dealership that has been in the Northern Front Range community for over 100 years.
Wow.
And pretty tried and true. Yeah, it's a big testament to the Yoder family. We're kind of the last of the Mohicans as far as mom and pop owned dealerships. So you won't get that corporation feel with us. We're very transparent and we're rooted in faith and we're very community driven in what we do.
It's definitely one of the reasons why I think you're such a good fit in the community. One, with your experience that we'll get into a little bit, but that feel of being a hometown dealership. It's something that I just know, working with the contractor community for all this time, it's something that we really appreciate, and trust is huge around here. With that being said, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been doing this? Where'd you come from? And tell us.
So as far as pickup and truck sales go, I have only been in truck sales for about 6 months there at Weld County Garage and Yoder Chevrolet. But with that being said, being only 6 months into sales, I've learned a very vast knowledge about the processes and that kind of stuff, and that way we can streamline that for our customers. But my main background as a truck expert has come from I owned and operated my own trucking company. I ran that for 5 years, and that was something that I operated within the community of the Northern Colorado range and also up into Wyoming and across the other 48 states. I ran over the road, and so my network with vendors runs deep, and that is ultimately why we're all here, is to network and grow and see how we can be of value to each other in both practices.
Yeah, so you've done some, I guess, technically contract work yourself in the past. What else brought you to working with this community of contractors?
I really believe in the community in itself and how it encompasses the transparency between contractors themselves and also the vendors that they get their materials from. So it allows it to be a more tailor-made experience for that contractor, and you know who you're buying your stuff from, and you know that they're viable sources and they're respected people within a community, so that you can use that stuff to uphold your business and also better your business in the long run. Yeah,
it's nice that we have somebody in our corner when it comes to this side of things that answers their phone. Yeah,
exactly.
That's one of the things I appreciate about you, is always willing to communicate and not afraid to let the community know what it is you do and how you do it, and that there's just an integrity that I think is lost in a lot of dealership transactions nowadays. So
I would 100% agree, and I gotta say something really fast, just off the top of my head here. You talk about answering the phones. Hats off to you, sir. Like, you're always Johnny on the spot with answering these questions for us as affiliates and along with all these contractors. So tip of the hat to you there, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. It's not always easy, but it is fulfilling. I had a conversation with the contractor earlier this week about how much we've helped really change his business, and sometimes it gets a little emotional. It's a little overwhelming at times of being like, man, this is something that we've just thrown together, but it hasn't been thrown together when you look back. It's a long crawl to get here. So thank you for saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go with, what tips do you have for the community? Anything that you would recommend when it comes to managing their fleets or acquiring fleets for contractors specifically?
In direct relationship to just the pickup sale as a whole, we all understand times are tough these days and assets ain't getting any cheaper, but we can always hope that the rates are going to change in the long run. But with that being said, best to take advantage of going to be future historic low asset prices. But with that being said, best thing to do that we love to do at Yoder Fleet Commercial at Weld County Garage and Yoder Chevrolet is we like to go check out your guys' business and figure out how we can be of value to our contractors by getting them on an asset revolving schedule that is good for the both of us. That way we're getting in good low mileage trades that allows us to open that to the public to help out start up young contractors in the community, along with getting them the most bang for their buck. They're getting every bit of use out of that asset, and it's been the most positive money forward investment for them at that point. Like, that's what we want to talk about. We want to make sure that they're getting the most amount of cash return on their investments as they're owning these pickups, because these pickups, they don't get any cheaper. They get more and more expensive, so we might as well figure out a way to best manage that through a good fleet and commercial department and a good consolidated finance team that specializes in specifically asset management all the way from sales to service.
Yeah. Well, it's the beauty of not just working with you on this side, but bringing in some of our other verified affiliates is there's these tax advantages that come with all of these big purchases for equipment. At the end of the day, your trucks and all of this, it's equipment for your business. So yeah, man, I appreciate you bringing that side of it up. It's huge for this community and what we're trying to do. Help people understand that, hey, you do not have to be the expert at researching trucks or understanding tax law. You can just trust the community that we've put in front of you, and those that have seemed to benefit from it quite a bit.
So just in lieu of that, just in general, like, we've got a team of awesome experts that are already involved in this contractors community that specialize in finance. That'd be another great advantage to folks being a part of this, just aside from the whole dealership side of things, is just the community of experts that we have put into place to begin with. And just like you're talking about, just figuring out how to navigate it accordingly to that way we're all successful. That's the end goal in this community, is just to make everybody successful.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's great to just have experts in place to be able to do that. And I just want to be a trusted source to the folks in the community.
Yeah, well, you're well on your way. Do you have any emerging trends you've noticed? I know this, through the shutdowns and COVID and all this stuff over the last however many years, we're finally getting away and distancing ourselves from that. Supply chains are working themselves out. What emerging trends are you seeing?
Actually, yeah, there's something that's pretty unique. And I don't know, I think outside the box sometimes, and that's what I like to do for my customers. But we've been able to shim up the lead time from the manufacturer on getting orders now. It's gone back to pre-COVID ordering. So with that being said, it's back to being able to get your pickup, your HD pickup, in 10 to 12 weeks, upfitted, ready to go. With a flatbed, vice versa, of course, some bodies take a little bit longer. But with that being said, we've narrowed that window so that we've gotten back to being consultants versus just having to kind of take what we had on the lot at a high price because availability of things weren't there. But now we've been able to get prices under control and also be able to get things in a timely manner.
Good. Yeah, I know supply chain was out of control there for a while, and that caused just fierce competition between contractors just to get vehicles.
Oh, everybody's scrambling. Whoa.
Yep, everybody was just trying to get their hands on whatever they could because, again, it's a tool, it's an asset for your business. So I understand and really appreciate them figuring that out and you guys being able to get back to being consultants to put people in the right vehicles and consult on the lead time as well so that they can make strategic decisions for their business and not just be reactive. That's a huge thing we're trying to get this community to do is let's be professionals in this business. Part of being a professional is not always being reactive. We need to be flexible,
for sure,
but being reactive is not always the best answer. So last question here for you. Is there anything that you want to say to the contractor community? This is kind of your open mic time.
Let's go ahead and touch base on the fact that one of the biggest things that I could offer is like advice to the contractors in this community is don't be scared to lean on that pillar of trust that has been initiated inside this community. It's huge. Like, you've gone through all the regimens. Like, these guys have heard it of, making them verified experts within this community. Like, that's huge. Like, you have a specialized team that is there and ready to go to work for those contractors. I would lean on that. If I was in a contractor situation, like, that would be awesome. That's the best way to open up your book of network and to go ahead and crack the code on getting more and more jobs and growing your business. And with that being said, once you start growing that business, there's people and experts in place that have been able to help allocate those fundings to proper ways to help better the growth of that business. And once that growth is established, like, you're going to need ways to transport and do things like that. And that's where us over here at Yoder Fleet Commercial are here to help in the regards and be of value by spreading your guys' name and word of business at our place, along with, helping you get the next tile job by making sure you guys make it there on time because your used pickup broke down. That's the biggest thing, is we want to narrow up those downtime days. That way you guys are out there making money, making sure that you guys can have all the tools for the job, and also to just make sure everything gets done in a timely manner, because we all know that time is money. And so that's why we're doing from the point of purchase to it landed, it is direct B2C. Like, that is the main goal. We want it logoed up, sitting in your driveway for the next day, so you guys can take it to work and go start making money and get that fastest return on the investment. That's the biggest thing that we could do as consultants, is make sure that you guys get a return on your investment. And that's the overall end goal, is just managing that asset so that it's properly managed.
Yep.
We've seen that the most. Guys just run them ragged to the point where there's no value left in them, and it's actually become kind of a problem for the both of us, because we both don't end up knowing what to do with it, and we don't know where to take it, or vice versa. And it ends up, you kind of have a hardship with your customer, because you're trying to tell them, like, hey, this pickup that's built your business has no value to me. Like, that doesn't look good in a consumer's eyes.
Right.
So with that being said, like, that's where we're trying to build that asset revolving schedule. That way it's proactive versus reactive, and that way everybody's getting the right tools for the job. That's the biggest thing. No one wants to do a bad job with crappy tools.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, we want to make sure you got the snap-ons of the snap-ons.
That's right. That's right.
Milwaukee's of the Milwaukees.
That's right.
Chevys of the Chevys. GMC's of the GMCs.
I like it, man. Well, thank you for your time today. I think you hit on something big there. I've never heard of a team lead that doesn't want a new truck. Well, doesn't want one of your new trucks. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. So everybody, again, thank you for watching. We have Jakob Bernhardt here with Yoder Fleet Commercial. He is our verified affiliate for all things fleet and truck purchasing. So please, he's a verified member of our community, very trustworthy, and again, comes from a family-owned dealership that is here to help us. We'll give a quick shout out to our sponsors one more time, the Builder's Outlet for all your trim, windows, doors, cabinets, anything you might need there. Let them know we sent you. They will take very good care of you as one of our sponsors. And the Business Foundry, again, for letting us host the podcast, providing marketing to this contractor community in a way that's affordable and trustworthy. That's what we're trying to do here. So thank you, everybody, for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.